what's going on now? We got red Solo Cup. She's missing the roll cage. This is a sight we've seen a lot with this thing. I don't know. We just had a lot of bad luck with her. That's for sure. So yeah, we're in the process of tearing it back apart. We're gonna figure out what's wrong with the engine.
Brake locks out, maybe.
I don't know. Something's going on. So yeah, we're gonna tear the engine apart. I think multiple things kind of stacked on top of each other just kind of made this thing not work. So we think the water pump maybe went out, and we think it got hot several too many times, and we think I don't know if the excess heat we think we threw a rod bearing or something. Not really sure.
Shit parts from Rev 6, so we're not happy with.
Yeah, so we're gonna avoid that next time. So, but anyways, we gotta figure out what's going on. We're gonna be pretty meticulous with this build and make sure she's done right. Actually, we're 2 days later now, and it's early in the morning. We'll be able to get this tore apart probably less than an hour, to be honest. It won't take too long. But we'll see. There's always complications. So yeah, we're gonna take the head off and work our way to the cylinders. I don't think the piston and cylinder is gonna be an issue at all. I think that stuff's fine, but we will see. I think our issue is in the water pump and the connecting rods and the crank. I'm hoping the crank ain't bad, but yeah, it takes so long for these. I gotta get some LEDs in here. What's the verdict?
A lot of carnage.
A lot of carnage. It's actually what I expected. Connecting rods.
Yep. They
seized up on the crankshaft.
Which all the other bearings are good though.
All the other bearings are fine. So yeah, we have hard feelings with Rev 6 power. The connecting rods. I don't remember if they were their brand or not. We're gonna figure things out, and we'll let you know what we come up with. But we might either park that engine out and get a used one, or maybe band-aid that one together. But it's all up to Wyatt what he wants to do. That is what happens when you have an overheating problem. You don't just keep sending it, Wyatt.
You know, just F it.
You don't just F it.
We made it another mile and a half.
Yeah, we're not really sure if the connecting rod seizing up is from Wyatt or if that was the problem to begin with. It's hard to say, but it was overheating before we started hearing a weird knock. Well, who do we have here?
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Oh, Santa Claus, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
We got a Wyatt's Custom.
Wyatt's Custom, Bonehead's Garage.
Oh man. Wow, that looks nice.
Yeah, it's heavy duty. I only know one, and it ain't light duty. I'll build a motor on this, maybe.
Oh, is that what this is for?
I don't know. It could be.
Could
heavy
be
enough.
I can do that. We just need an engine. Oh wait, we might have one. Little foreshadowing. We've been kind of teasing.
You wanna unwrap it? It's your present.
All right, I can unwrap it, I guess.
There's a step on the side. I know that works too.
Need a little bit more. Oh. All right. Wow. That's one nice workbench.
She is sturdy.
Sturdy as can be. Oh yeah. Right height. Really working on the engine right here.
It's not my first rodeo.
All right, Wyatt. Future engine. Give her a rip. Yeah. Let me make sure that some of this is out of the way. I unfortunately didn't get this on video of me starting it earlier before I tore it apart. And it obviously fired right up. I even rode it around the yard a little bit. But now that I've taken everything apart to take the day arms off, it for some reason doesn't want to start at the moment. I think it has something to do with the key switch, not really sure, but we're gonna bypass it and start it up for you guys. doesn't it?
Sounds good.
Honestly, I have to look this up. I could be wrong, but I think this is a very similar engine to the YXZ. So you might just have a YXZ engine in your...
Hell yeah.
With more horsepower.
We're looking at the Apexes, but due to money and tight budget and honestly, I think weight even maybe. The Nitro is a 3-cylinder and that's what we got. So we're gonna send that.
We found a good deal on it. I did trade my Predator for that. And
works out for both.
We're working out a good deal between both of us on this. So
3-cylinder Yamaha Nitro into my turbo model Razor and send it.
Yep. So I believe the family class of this engine is just a 3-cylinder Genesis engine from Yamaha.
I think, yeah.
And there's so many parts for these things. I mean, they use these engines in a lot of different things. They're interchangeable, and
they're good for like 40,000 miles from what everyone at work told me that has them.
They work good. Now this sled has 9,000 miles, and I'm just tearing into it. Everything just looks original on it. I think it's gonna be, as you heard, sounds good. Seems like it runs good.
And I'm gonna send it.
And maybe down the road they do make supercharger kits for this.
It's just what I need.
Get it up to 200 horsepower.
I'm already thinking about putting a block of wood under the pedal, so.
So we have a huge project on our hand, and we are in the process of taking everything out. I already got the arms off, so today's process is literally stripping the entire front end out, and then Wyatt's going to take all the engine components, electrical components, and then everything else is going to get sold on the internet. So if you want a Nitro part, let me know. Think here, buddy. How's it going?
I think it's going good. We made quite a bit of headway.
Yeah.
And tore back, got the radiator off, the handlebars stripped. Working on taking the seat off and the plastics now.
Yep.
Getting more prepared to pull the motor.
Yep, almost there. I'm in the process of getting this front frame off, and then we'll take the seat off, get to the tunnel, get the exhaust off, and then we'll get some of these subframe parts off, and then the motor should pull right out. Not too big of a problem. We should have it out in 2 more hours, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna take a lunch break. Coming together, it's coming apart quite a bit better than I thought it was gonna. So,
it's usually easy taking things apart. It's putting it back together. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm great at taking shit apart.
Is this OSHA approved?
You need a torch.
We don't have a torch, so we're hopefully making this work. We got an exhaust bolt that does not want to come out quite yet. So yeah, here we are. All right, we're on the home stretch, we're pulling the engine out. This is why it costs so much to work on these things.
Yeah.
But we
three grinding blades later.
We just pulled the wide pipe out, and honestly, I'm not really sure how they expected people to take that out if they had to replace it. It kind of baffled on that. So we ended up just cutting that out because I didn't really plan on selling this. Time to start yanking out the engine. So I think we need to pull out the subframe here, which I already got half of it bolted. And then I believe the engine should just fall forward. I think that's the easiest thing to do. Just gotta make sure that we don't drop the engine down.
Yo.
to build some carriage bolts.
Yes, they do. Holy crap. That's an engine mount bolt right there.
Players, take pointers.
Well, we're on the step of pulling the engine out. We got the engine mounts off. One of the headers on that was, the bolt was seized into the engine, so we're going to have to probably tap that bolt out, but
hey,
it's down the road.
One bad for 6 wasn't bad.
Well, most of them were pretty bad.
Yeah,
we got pretty lucky.
Rough, so.
It didn't come out really well. You can see it's pretty oxidized in there. This thing got in a little bit of salt. It must have did quite a bit of road riding at some point. We got her out, Wyatt.
Yeah.
Woo! After, what was it, 5 hours, 6 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, not too bad actually. That's what I kind of predicted.
One broke bolt, not bad.
One sheared off bolt. Not too worried about it. I think we'll get her out, but it'll be my project. I'm gonna take the jack shaft and the skid out and stuff. That's gonna be for sale, but then we also need to take this subframe off here.
About 20 minutes. We didn't realize that. We seen it earlier, but we kind of forgot about it.
Wasn't sure, but in hindsight, this is here for a reason. You have to remove that to pull the engine down. The only way it'll come out. And yep, lesson learned, but we got her. Next time, right?
Yeah, next time.
Next time.
Install, we'll know.
Yeah, or the next nitro. Time to start mounting the engine or mocking it up to the Razor.
Going on.
Hey, it's a little late one, isn't it?
A little late, yeah. We worked today and well, we decided to tear into the Razor now.
Yeah. All right, let's get her loaded. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move the car. I can probably just pull in front of my truck. We figured this wasn't going to be super much wider. Now, the engine per se isn't really much wider than stock Razor XP, but yeah, we're working with 3 cylinders here, but there's a lot more drive crankshaft down here. So we're gonna have to move the engine over to the right farther than we'd like. So
relocating the shock.
We're probably gonna have to relocate the shock just a tad. We're thinking about maybe mounting it. It normally mounts to here, down. And I think we're gonna have to come up. It should be fine. And these got 32s on there. This is a lot bigger than stock, and it's gonna work. It should clear just fine. So that's probably what we're gonna do. We'll probably relocate the shocks to a different position, and so this is gonna be the hardest part. So we're looking at, this is obviously not square at all yet, but to use the Yamaha belt, that's what we're working with here. The Polaris belt would probably work too, but I didn't take measurements on that. But so we're gonna bring the engine a little bit closer so we can get our correct length this way, and then, well, once we get the engine lined up how we want it and get things marked, then we'll figure things out. But yeah, it's gonna come this way a little bit, and it's gonna set maybe up a little bit more, and then yeah, we're gonna figure a lot of stuff out. But it's gonna work. I think it's gonna be just fine. We might have to do a bed delete because the engine, I think, is gonna be a little bit taller. We could bring the engine down. Maybe that's what we do because the headers are gonna be pointing up.
Yeah, bringing it.
So maybe like in the snowmobile, we bring it down at an angle a little bit. It'll give us maybe some more head clearance here.
That might bring it in enough to where we got to bring the clutches closer to.
Yeah, and then we could probably get a little bit closer. Now the stinker with this is that the oil filter is right here. So that's gonna be the only stinker when it comes to changing the oil filter. We gotta make sure it's far enough away from the transmission to change it. That's gonna be we gotta think about that down the road situation.
It might be we have to pull one of the engine bolts out and rotate it forward.
It might be, yeah. Who's to say? Maybe we can. I don't know. That's gonna be down the road. Got to think about it, situations. But otherwise, for the most part, it's not gonna be too much of a hassle to get this in. The next video is gonna be mounting the engine into the Razor and hopefully test riding it, but we'll see. It's gonna be mounting the engine and wiring for sure.
If we have to, maybe we can test drive it on the thumb throttle.
Yeah, if we have to, we can. Yes, we have the thumb throttle to test it out with. But the idea here, we're not the first people to do this. People have thrown Apex engines into Razors.
We might be the first to do a nitro.
I think we might be the first to do nitro. This is a Genesis engine, so I think it's at heart the same as a WAG-Z engine. It's just, this is a CVT. And that was the whole idea of this, is just to bolt it directly to this transmission to make things a lot easier for us.
And being the turbo model, already having the bulletproof Razor transmission.
Some people have used Apex engines, and I'm glad we kind of didn't go that route because it's going to be a lot wider than we probably would have realized. But people that have been using Apex engines actually been sitting it in kind of like how the Pro...
an inline cylinder.
The Razor Pro R.
Yeah, more of an inline cylinder.
Yeah, it's all inline, but they have the engine sitting this way rather than this way. So the CVT on a player's Pro R, XPR, the 4-cylinder one, 4-cylinder Razor. The CVT is actually right here, and then they run a shaft to the transmission. So if we were to do that, then we would have to find a whole transmission or find some sort of gearbox, and that's just a lot of.
That's a lot
more than I want to deal with right now. So this is the idea we're going with. It's gonna work. It just gotta relocate stuff.
I might go down a size tire even. I mean, 32s are cool, but I tend to break a lot of shit.
Yeah, just do some burnouts on them before you replace them. That's all I ask.
Burn my belt.
Burn your belt off. Your brand new spare belt.
My brand new Yamaha belt.
Yep.
I hope snowmobile belts are cheaper.
They're not. They're not. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. Now this is gonna be. I'm hoping we can get this done in under 2 months, but.
I hope so.
I'm actually working part-time right now, so I actually will have a lot more time to work on this off the clock, per se, so.
It helps I'm on first shift, but it doesn't help I'm working like 52 hours a week. Gotta pay the man for the motor.
Hope you guys like this content, and we'll see you in the next one.